The next two graphs are harder to graph because they have horizontal shifts, phase shifts. So let's start by figuring out our amplitude, our period. Our horizontal shift is negative c over b, which is positive 5 pi over 6 times 2 over 1, or 5/3 pi. That's our horizontal shift, and our vertical shift is down 1. So let's start by graphing cosine, which has a phase shift of 5/3 pi. 5/3 pi brings us here, and because it's cosine, we'll start at a maximum. Because of the amplitude issue, we'll go up 2 from our equilibrium, which is at the y-coordinate of 1. So this should be 5 pi over 3, comma, 1. Now, 1 period later is going to be, well, we add another 4 pi. So we were starting at 1 2/3 pi, so we'll get to 5 2/3 pi, or 17 pi over 3, comma 1. So there's our next maximum. And then we can fill in the places halfway in between. So 3 2/3 pi is minimum, 2 2/3 and 4 2/3 are equilibrium points. And now we can sketch our cosine graph. Now this would be it if we were asking about cosine, but we're asking about secant, which is its reciprocal. So we should take our equilibrium points, and each of the equilibrium points should now be vertical asymptotes. So I'm going to do my best to create some vertical asymptotes. Those are going to be my vertical asymptotes. Now we can take each of the maximum points and minimum points and put a u off of them. Here we don't quite reach it. It would be over here. But we can continue what it would look like if we started here and went down from both places. We have that. Lastly, we erase our original cosine graph. So we get this as our secant graph. Another one. Amplitude is 1/2, not the 1. Notice that they're not in the same order. The period is 2 pi divided by b, which is pi overall. H, our horizontal shift, is negative c over b, which is 3 pi over 4 times 1/2, or 3 pi over 4, or 3 pi over 8. Yes, 3 pi over 8. And then lastly, our vertical shift is up 1. So draw our equilibrium line at 1. We're going to be looking at sine. So where do we start? What gone up? We should use the horizontal shift next. 3 pi over 8. 3 pi over 8. I believe that would be here. And because this is sine, we'll start at an equilibrium point. And if we move another pi to the right, we'll get there. So here are 2 of our equilibrium points. Halfway between will be another equilibrium point. We have a maximum and a minimum. I ignored a piece so far. I forgot to deal with the amplitude. Because of the amplitude, this is going to be at, the maximum is going to be up 1/2 from our equilibrium line, and our minimum will be down 1/2 from our equilibrium line. So here is what our graph is going to look like for sine. So we have there, it's a very small curve. There we go. So here are our sine here is our sine curve. Now we want to create vertical asymptotes. Anywhere where there was an equilibrium point, now there's going to be a vertical asymptote. There's a vertical asymptote there. Each of the minimum and maximum points turns into a U. And that will be it once we erase sine. Some of this is a little sloppy for me, but this gives you the idea. There we go. Now we have graphed cosecant.